Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show After Show. Welcome, Ramsey crew, back from the cruise. So it was a new show today. As always, video live, our video 2 hours delayed from the live radio show. A lot of people are not aware of that. Oh, let's see. I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com / Coach Steve Money. Also, I am going to be streaming The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered Edition. Comes out on the PC on Thursday. And so I'll be doing that at approximately 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right after I'm done with the after show. So, and I'll be doing that until the season 2 of Last of Us starts, which I believe is on the 13th, something like that. Fun times. You're watching this on youtube.com / Coach Steve Money. And for my financial content, you can just scroll down past the Oak Island playlist and you'll see the Ramsey Show After Show. And today is number 510 of those. And answering your financial questions, 137 shows in there. And the music playlist has 12 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. Also do reaction videos. What else? Skinwalker Ranch, which is another History Channel show. Past live streams. I video game. I do everything all on this channel, which of course you should not do. Apparently, you should specialize in one area, but I ain't got time to do all different channels. It was hard enough to get this one monetized. So to try to get multiple ones, that is just not fun. So it'll all be here. Market. That is not the right thing. How did I click on that? Must have clicked on that. How did it open it up in a new window? That is crazy. Nothing popped up that said where I would have to do 2 clicks to make that happen. That is so weird. Anyway, market report. As you can see, mostly down still. I think, let's see, 50, 60. No, mostly up today because the Dow was up a whole %. And S&P 500 now has started the day underneath here. As you can see, this dotted line right here is the close from, or the close from Friday. And so it opened lower, but eventually got back up there. And the NASDAQ at one point was, I think, close to 2% down. But as you can see, it tried to get back even, but ended up being 0.14% down. So the rest of the planet did. Pretty more. Okay. My rent people constantly wants me to sign up for this thing that you can build your credit through while paying rent. And I'm like, nar. But everything down, speaking of nar, everything down in Europe, everything down in Asia too. Oh, I wonder if their presidents have tariffs. And that's what's causing that to happen. People are dumb. Let's see. The US dollar is down to the euro. And, live, it just changed to being up over the yen, Japanese yen there, but United States dollar is still independent of the British pound, low, higher, and also higher than the Canadian dollar, sorry, and also higher than the Australian dollar mate. What else do we want to talk about today on here? Any earnings coming up? Exxon and JP Morgan Chase. Exxon on the 3rd, that is Thursday. And JP Morgan Chase 8 days later. Most followed single stocks on the Google. Apple up almost 2%. Alphabet 0.2%. All the rest of them are down. Yeah, and it says Wall Street's fed up with Trump's tariffs. Again, the rest of the world is down too. Is that because of Trump's tariffs or some of their leaders' decisions? You know, Tesla plunges 36%. Out of touch bosses are openly bragging about their ridiculous wealth. Employees have had enough. All right. I mean, the boss can say what he wants to. You don't have to work there if you don't want to. It's not a law that you have to work there. Yeah, I thought this was interesting because of Apple being up almost 1% to almost 2% today, excuse me, which is a good chunk of it if you are planning on making, you count on the 10% a year, and if it does almost 2% in one day, that's pretty good. Of course, it'll have some down days as well, but what was it? Oh yeah, the Apple is, what is it? France fines Apple. I think I have that up here. Do I? Yeah, France fines Apple, too many F's in a row, giving too many F's apparently. Apple 150 million euros, I think that is, for excessive pop-ups that let users reject tracking. Okay, yeah, they don't like that. I mean, I think it was the European Union. I can't remember if it was just them or Great Britain by themselves, but they were also the one that sued them for the right to repair stuff, so that people would be able to repair things on their own and not have to have Apple repair it. And a couple other things that Apple does that kind of corners the market. Wouldn't necessarily call it a monopoly, because you're not, if you're trying to be frugal, you're not even getting a freaking Apple phone. You can get an iPhone. You can get a Android phone for much cheaper. And from the CNBC, Make It section, a 50-year-old side hustle brings in $1.4 million a year. It's easy for a beginner like me to start. I did skim this, and it doesn't bring in $1.4 million a year. It brought in $1.4 million last year, so he'll probably be okay again. But, you got to use your words correctly, CNBC. You think they would know. You think they would have somebody proofreading it, but I guess not. So he makes quilt kits, and one of the first one he ever made was for his sons, and I can relate to this. I didn't make them anything, I don't think. I made them. I only have one son. I didn't make him a quilt, but I did make him lightsabers out of pool noodles for one of his early birthday parties. That was fun. Let's see. He drew a Star Wars Stormtrooper on a 5 by 6.5 foot sheet of graph paper on his kitchen floor, cut the pattern in smaller sections, and sewed fabric onto the paper. Then he stitched the pieces together on a sewing machine and discarded the paper remnants, he says. All right. And so I guess that's how you do it. And now he puts those kits together and people buy it. And so they don't have to do the tracing or anything. They just have to sew it together, I guess. He finished the quilt 18 months later. That That seems like that took a long time. I'm sure it turned out great though, with all that work into it. Actual sewing work, quilting on top of the design, a practice called foundation paper piecing, was surprisingly straightforward for a beginner, Odell says. He figured that if he hired people to streamline the process, he could make and sell quilting kits with licensed images of nature scenes, animals, and characters. Good idea to get the licensing. So you don't get in trouble for that, because if you put a stormtrooper on it, I'm gonna go ahead and say that Lucasfilm / Disney is gonna want to wet their beak on that. They're gonna want to get their share on that because you didn't make it up. So it's called Legit Kit. Started in 2020, brought in more than 1.25 million in sales through Shopify last year, according to documents reviewed by CNBC Make It. An additional 150 selling quilt kits at Joann Fabrics and Crafts. All right, well, that's a good place to put it. Put them in there. So cool. That's pretty cool. And that, of course, is also yeah, the side hustle does bring in that much, but he is still paying, overhead and for employees and so forth. So he's not making that much, but he might be making a ton of money though. So still good money. So it's a good story. Good story. What up, Jimmy T. Kirk? James T. Kirk. Marshall. Where did we end up on Friday? RSUs and debt, restricted stock units and debt, and any kind of single stock, even if it's your company that you work with, that you work for, they give you like cheaper, they give you a discount on their stock. And the advice is that you sell those and any other single stocks you have. You would sell them regardless of if they're in a retirement account or non-retirement account. The only thing is, if it's in a retirement account, you still sell any dumb single stocks you have and put that money into mutual funds instead that make more than those particular stocks. Boom. So that's the deal. But yeah, definitely anything in a non-retirement account. I mean, if you just have a brokerage account, which you're using to just invest extra money, which is a no if you have debt, which these people are currently on baby step 2. Dr. Orgul, something like that. Currently on baby step 2, it's only student loan debt left, but we have a ways to go, over $100,000. My company, a globally well-established biotech pharma company, offers a good amount, maybe that's Lilly or whatever that's called, offers a good amount of restricted stock units. Should I continue our snowball as planned and leave these invested, as I'm confident this company will continue to grow in value, or should I pull them as they vest and make big payments on the debt when we can? What do you think, sir? What do you think, doctor? Especially if you're a doctor, that seems like you would have had a lot of education. What do you think? Dave is the no debt guy, not debt's the no Dave guy. Actually, debt probably is the no Dave guy. But yeah, Dave's the no debt guy. And so, yes, you should not be investing at all. And people do kind of miss that. And part of it, I think the reason they miss it a lot is because they don't want to stop what they're already doing. So if they see that that's step 4, they don't think, oh, I should stop that until I get all my dumb debt paid off. Non-mortgage debt, consumer debt paid off. But they don't think that. But yes, so yes, you would do that, and you would empty anything that's not in a retirement account. If it's a retirement account, you don't do that because you lose too much from the penalties. Scribbles_cat. Need advice from someone who's experienced mama of 2, low income, confused on taking next step Can someone DM me? I'm saving, but I'm in scarcity mode and need private advice. Okay. You should not be saving anything beyond the $1,000 emergency fund, and then you pay off any debt you have. So you basically, the next step, you do the baby steps. And so hopefully somebody private messaged that person and gave them help, or at least told them the dealio in the comments. Finance, health, books, health/books. That's from Financial Molasses 80. Excuse me. I'm in need of a book recommendation to get my finances in order. I have a book called Get Good with Money by Tiffany Alish. But I'm wondering if I should do the Dave Ramsey book and steps. Yes. You're on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. What would you think? Somebody would say. His baby steps seem doable and straightforward, but some of his philosophies might be out of touch in today's economic situation. In today's economy, man, people were saying that dumb crap. Guess what? In the 90s when I listened to him, people were always saying, oh, in this economy, I don't know if it works, he's out of touch. They've been calling him out of touch for years. Since the 90s when I would listen to him. So his steps worked then and it worked now. Now I was too dumb because I didn't think it, just like people say now, I didn't think it applied to me because I didn't make that much money. Everybody that called in made more money than I did at the time. And so, I was dumb. And so you're being dumb too if you're going to not do that. If you're going to, there's all kinds of there's all kinds of stuff. I was talking to a guy that lived in Canada in the Ramsey Show chat today. And he's like, oh, I live in the best place for my job. I get the most money. But I still will have to have a 70% down payment in order to get a house. And then, you don't get a pass on the math for that. It doesn't matter if that is the highest paying in Canada for whatever his job was. But apparently it's not enough to live in that city where that high pay is. And so that's not enough. And so you don't get a pass on math just because you want something. Just because you want to stay in your situation, but you also want to be able to not have to have a 70% down payment to buy a house that you want as well. And, as always, I always suspect there's stuff like, there are cheaper houses there that he could buy, but he just doesn't want to. And so that's the dealio on that. So when you lock yourself into situations, you can't expect to get ahead financially if you do that. You have to be malleable on things that you will change when things are untenable. The math is what dictates the situation, not the other way around. Let's see. So he's not out of touch in today's economic situation. That's some dumb bull crap. Married in mid-40s. We're both employed worker bees. All right. I don't know how much the queen bee pays, but all right. We've been homeowners for 10 years. Credit card debt at $7,000. Dumb. We are both contributing to 401ks, but have very little in it. You should not be doing that. You should be paying off that credit card debt. We do not have much in savings. You should only have $1,000 because you're on step 2. Hey, if you would actually look at the steps, then you would know that already. Why wouldn't you look at the steps if you're thinking about doing them? And what is it about the baby steps that's out of touch with in today's economy? What is that? Is it the only $1,000 for your starter emergency fund? And you only have that $1,000 as the only savings while you pay off all your debt in step 2? Is that what it is? Dave says it wasn't $1,000 wasn't enough 30 years ago. So, of course, you're not going to think it's enough now. It's supposed to take care of $1,000 emergency or one that's less than that. That's what it's supposed to do. It's not a situation for everybody. It's like, well, let's make it 20,000 and then that way everybody will be covered. No, somebody will have a $25,000 emergency if that happens, and then that still won't be enough. So you just got to get out of your little mindset about, oh, this is my little situation and I want this stuff all to stay the same, but I want to make financial progress. You cannot do that oftentimes. Where were we? Some K, but yeah, so you need to not be, I understand you're getting up there, 40. That's still fairly young to me, but you would stop investing, get rid of your dumb but 7K credit card debt, stop using credit cards, close them, and then you save up the full emergency fund, and then only after that, then you go back to investing. Don't have car payments. That's good. Although I need a new car in the next couple years. No, you won't. Why? Our son is 11 and all the family is. Sometimes your baby doesn't, if you can't afford it, sometimes your baby doesn't get a car. You don't provide a car when he's 16. So people have such dumb stuff in their heads. And they don't let their income and their financial situation, the state of their finances, they don't let that come. I'm not even going to read the rest of it because I'm sure it's just some other dumb crap that they want to do, which is not do the baby steps. So if, I mean, you want, what do you want? Do you want something? You said you're 40 and you're worried about 40. And so the baby steps are the fastest way to get there. And so you're talking about, if you're talking about advice that's for more in touch with today's economic situation, that's going to make it take longer to pay off your dumb debt and to get through the baby steps. So it's up to you. Up to you. How many people answered on that? 9. None on this. Oh, it's because it's the ad. My bad. Oh, they almost got me. Rocket song. I'm a rocket song. What is it? What is it? Burning up a fuse up here alone. Yeah. When do we start thinking about an umbrella policy? Well, you can just go to Walmart and buy one. They're talking about a just an umbrella coverage policy. Generally, you got to have a lot of money. Now, once we actually have some reasonable assets, at what point do we need to think about a 1 million or 2 million umbrella policy? I would probably wait until you have that much in assets. So I don't think there's probably not any need to get one until there's that many assets. So, but it all depends on how much risk in your situation you have. Like if you're running your own business, then you might want to do some things that protect you in case somebody falls down at your business, that kind of thing. Of course, you would need insurance for that as well, but it just depends on if you have any weird risk things. But in general, I would say you don't need to insure yourself for $1 million until you have $1 million. T-Bone Hodge. Pay off last of debt, which is the home, or put larger chunk of money in an index fund. So baby step 4 says invest 15%, right? Baby step 5, save for kid college. Baby step 6 is pay off your mortgage early. I don't see anything about here about investing more than 15%. doing debt leverage to have more investing. Debt leveraging the house, keeping the mortgage around to do that. Let's see if there's anything in here that changes the advice. There won't be. We're a married couple, early 50s, and plan to retire in about 15 years, give or take. Proceeds from a rental investment coming this year in the amount of $1 million. 500K tax-free from primary home no more than 2 years ago. We have the option to pay 500K bank note off and invest the other 500 in an index fund. This is the last of our debt. Doing so, we'd save 40K a year in mortgage payments. We are only 2 years in on this home as we move to another state. The other option is to put $1 million into an index fund and make potentially more money. And yeah, that's a no. That again is debt leverage, and so that's a no. You would not be doing that. You would also not be having the rental house in a city you don't live in. Not advised, because generally it's not worth it, and you shouldn't, especially if that has debt on it. If the because you say that's your home that you're talking about paying off, but is the other one, are you still have payments on that? And now you think, oh, that's a business loan, that's different. No, it's not. There's no loans for business, no mortgages outside of your personal residence. Oh my goodness gracious me, Zach went crazy on the chat here. Zach paid off signature loan early. Baby step 1 done. Baby step 2 done. And baby step 3 complete. Now I work as a non-medical driver. $13.50 is hourly pay for LLC company. Higher pay isn't available. Yep. Steps 4, 5, and 6 for you, sir. You do them all at the same time as they are applicable. So you would be investing 15% of gross income. If you have kids, that's when it's time. Just at least start, at least put a little bit away per month for them. The younger they are, the lower the amount that you have to do. And then any cash you have left over out of your previous snowball amount that you were using to save for your start emergency fund, and then pay off the debt, and then save for baby step 3, that money that you were doing baby steps 1, 2, and 3 for, you use that same extra money amount to do baby steps 4, 5, and 6. Company doesn't provide retirement benefits, so where would we open one? In America, you can open just a Roth IRA account. And that'll allow you to put $7,000 a year in that. Yep. Can also do HSA, health savings account. You can use that as an investment vehicle if you have a high deductible insurance plan. But beyond that, you would just do a non-retirement brokerage account and still invest in that if you need to do that to get up to your 15%. Trump's smooth scrotum. Alrighty, of course. Has Dave ever updated his rules? I talked about this before, that Mod said the other day he was thinking about adding a step, and I think it would probably be 3B, and I saw the graphic for it actually when I loaded up this one day, as I do every single day for the after show, and it was right there, and it said 3B, and it said, you know, save down payment, and so I thought it was there, and this was in February, and in May the updated version of the Total Money Makeover came out. This was just this past year. But the next day, the 3B was gone, and apparently it wasn't in the, I don't know what changes have been made to the Total Money Makeover, though I haven't read the new one. Oh, maybe I'll get that from the library. We'll see. Just for fun, just to see what it has looked like. But the baby steps are the same. So let's see, has it added, changed, or updated any of the rules or reshuffling of the order of steps? No. Nope. If it's perfect already, you don't have to change anything. Stocks for the win. I think I did this one. Did I mess up? 26 man, 150K salary, 170K TC. I don't know what that is. Recently moved to high cost of living area. Yeah, and you don't get a pass on math today, as I tried to explain to my boy in the Ramsey Show chat today. Rent is 2,600, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, including utils. Signed only a 6-month lease, but I still feel like I'm throwing money away. It is fully furnished. I don't have a car payment, but I do have student loan payment of $900 a month. Thoughts? 150K salary. What is that? Where is the calculator? Calc. There we are. And we got 150 divided by 12 months. Divided by times 0.25. Forgot how to do math for a minute there. All right, 3,125. That's going off gross though, so I think 2,600 might be fine for that. That might be fine as being less than 25%. But yeah, so and I feel like for me, what a lot of people again do is they just breeze right on by the fact that step 4 is way higher or lower in this case in a numerical list. The higher numbers are lower, and just breeze right on by that. Oh, I'm already doing that, so that's fine. No, you stop investing while you're paying off your student loans, which is step 2 debt. So you would get rid of that immediately, and also cut whatever else you can that's not 100% necessary while you do steps 2, and then after that's done, step 3. You need to be gazelle, especially in a high cost of living area. You don't get to live like everybody else does. Sorry. So time to sacrifice in order to keep that. I mean, the rent for that salary isn't bad. And so it could be, if you're having money issues, it could be other things that are taking it other than the student loan payment, which of course is a good chunk of it. Key fee 7986, picking up the pieces after a divorce. I don't have a question, okay? But just want everyone else going through a divorce or recently divorced to know you're not alone. Here's my story. My ex-wife and I finalized our divorce in July 2024. Since January 2024, I've been trying to get things in order for my mental health, physical health, and financial health. All three advised, rather. Stats, her income doesn't matter. Why does her income matter? I mean, it did. And so, maybe neither one of you can stay in the house, for example. Prior to the pandy, I felt like for him, his ex and he were on the same page financially. We were gazelle intense. Great. We paid off all our debt. That's fabulous. Not having that to worry about that on top of the normal things of just, you aren't going to be married anymore. That's hard enough. You don't need money issue and deciding how to split up the debt. You don't need that on top of everything else. So great. 2 cards for credit cards from her before our marriage and 1 from our marriage, my student loans and her medical debt. The only remaining debt was her student loans. Yep. And she gets to continue to pay them, I would assume. Okay, I'm not reading all that. Let's see. This year I was able to pay off 67.66 off, reducing my total debt. Must have taken some debt out in there. I don't know why. Or he does have to pay some of her stuff. I don't know. Don't know. Not gonna try to. It's too long. Too long. Want the debt gone? Yeah. So you just do it. Just want anyone really in this going through a divorce to know you're not alone. I feel your pain and am cheering you on. Well, that's good, and there may be people that will read that, and that will help immensely. Because you do have to go on. You got to pick up the pieces. Got to pick up the pieces and have the best life that you can. Previously on 401k Talk, Marshall rolled over to Dish. A 401, as Dr. Deloney calls it. Yeah, SmartVestor Pro, you can certainly contact. And when you sign up for that, they normally give your name to about 5 people. So you'll be hearing from about 5 people, and you can interview them all. But also, unfortunately, the heart of a teacher thing gets lost sometimes in the translation because they can't require people to work with everybody from $1 investing. Sometimes they you have to have like $50,000 worth of assets before they will work with you, because the little baby stuff doesn't make them as much money, I guess. Let's see, 4 different types of investments you want your Roth IRA invested in. As for Coach Steve Money, the 4 types of investments, and that would be, Dave calls them different words back from 30 years ago, I think, or even before that. But now what they're mostly called are small, mid, large cap, and international managed mutual funds that beat the indexes. If you want more pay, figure out a time you are available to speak over the phone, then make an appointment for an interview. Yep. Vermicelli, normal. Paying off car loan, trying to get myself on track. Right on track. Is that going to get you back? That was, who was that? Oh, that was one of the boy bands. I can't remember. 2025, and reading the Financial Money Makeover. All right, that's not exactly what it's called, but close enough. I have a question that probably is dumb to most. Okay, we'll see. Let's go ahead and open the whole thing, since there's ellipsis, and they only needed the ellipsis for a couple words apparently. I have roughly 7K left on my car with 4.5% interest rate. This is my only debt. Was this person in the chat today? This is my only debt I currently have. I only have 8K in an emergency fund up, but also have upcoming expenses that would make things tight if I paid the loan in full plus these expenses. I know Dave would tell me to pay it off now and start working toward baby step 1 again. Yes, and if those expenses that are upcoming, if those are at all not 100% necessary, you just do not do those expenses. You just put those off. If that's like, family birthday gifts or anything like that, you should have already had that budgeted out so that it wouldn't take up your emergency fund. But you're doing it wrong by saving 8K to begin with. You should have only had the $1,000, so you shouldn't even have this issues. And by only having $1,000, it would have already been paid off. So you're doing it wrong. And that's why Dave would tell you to fix your mistake of doing that and doing that now. And so then you just don't do the upcoming expenses. It just depends on what the upcoming expenses are, and work more and spend less on other things. Regardless, I plan to pay off my car in the next few months. Is it better to just pay it all off now and just put moderate chunks towards the loan over the next, or just put moderate chunks over the next couple of months to save some financial stress, since the loan really isn't that much? No, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you feel about the loan. That doesn't change the Ramsey advice. So that would be a nar on that one. Okay, so let's pretend, and you may have well known that Dave says $1,000 emergency fund, and you just did it wrong on purpose. You may have done that, but also maybe you did it before. You found Dave, and then you found Dave, and then you looked at the baby steps and incorrectly thought, oh, baby step 3 is grow the $1,000. Well, I already got more, so I just got a head start on baby step 3, so that's okay. No, it's not. Steps 1, 2, and 3 are one at a time without doing any higher steps. So you're doing it wrong. Car should have already been paid off by now before you even typed this out here. So you're just doing it wrong. And so you make it correct. You make it right by starting to do it right, and you pay that car off today. And then you worry about whatever upcoming expenses are. And it depends on, I mean, if you've got 6 months before that, then shut up with that. You come up with the money within 6 months. You still have time on that. So what you should do is, if you have done things all wrong and you find the baby steps and decide that's something you want to do, then you undo the dumb crap you did. Like, for example, you saved up $8,000. Another example would be people are investing while they have debt leveraging. And so you would stop investing and put that money towards the debt. Fun times. Little agua. A5 HL3YK. A chic, maybe? A sleek? I don't know. It's got SHL there. Maybe, unless that's a 1, be a 13. I don't know. Major purchase on, all right. Ellipsis for, yeah, not that much extra. Major purchase on baby step 2. Baby step 2. We're gazelle intense on baby step 2 for over a year, about 3 to 4 months remaining. And so that means you don't make a major purchase in baby step 2. Why would you even ask this? Let's see. Our baby step 3 timeline after that is maybe 6 months at most. We both work, so probably 3 months of savings. I'm looking to make a major purchase in May or June for about $3,000. More contact with us. This is a want, so that's a no. We don't do wants in baby steps 1, 2, and 3. Once you get that full emergency fund, and then you can move on to step 4, at that point, then you buy something $3,000. That's a want. In order to afford it, it would push back our baby step 2 date. And so, again, that's debt leverage. That's debt leverage. You having this want and keeping your debt around. That's debt leverage. So Mr. Ramsey is the no debt guy. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him or not. If you want to know more about the purchase, I certainly do. I'm in the triathlon world, and bike is the single most expensive piece of equipment. It is also something that you do not do in that case because it costs too much money. You don't do that on baby steps 1, 2, and 3. Sorry, you don't get to have everything you want and also have your finances in the best place either. So you just have to wait. It's not forever. It's just until, when did you say you were going to have that? Boom. 6 months, 3 to 4 months. So 10 months. So less than a year. So guess what? you're taking a break from triath. Okay, you're taking a break, my friend. I've had an entry-level bike, so you already have one. What, it's not good enough for a while and wanting to upgrade before the next race in July, but I need time to ride and adapt my body to a new ride. I can wait until after the race, but it'll be the same question about a major purchase in baby step 3. No, right. So you're not doing either of the next 2 races if you have to have a new bike for it. Or I got a great idea. Use the entry-level bike that you already have. Have priorities. Okay? And you are more than welcome to do whatever dumb crap you want to do, but you don't need to come to the Dave Ramsey subreddit and ask about it. Then you can just do your dumb crap. You're the one that's offering up that you're gazelle intense. So do you want to half-ass the baby steps or not? Or do you want to do them? You want to stay gazelle intense or not? Or just do whatever you want to do. So you don't have to run that by anybody. You can just buy the dumb triathlon bike in baby step 2 if you want. But guess what? If you do that, you're not in baby step 2 because you're not following the baby steps. So you're just doing whatever thing you want to do. Boop, 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 boom. Boop, 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 boom. CT cat lover, Connecticut, maybe. Guys, is that a little bit of a smiley face. 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 credit cards paid off, and then woohoo face, I guess, celebrating with the streamer. Now. So, no, that's not a streamer. What is it called? The thing, and it comes up. I can't remember what that is. That's not a streamer too, is it? I'm a streamer. I'm doing it now. So, I now own my own business with a business partner. Boop, boop, boo, doo. So, that's a NAR for Mr. Ramsey. You're doing it wrong. Not one of the baby steps, but you're still doing it wrong. And some recent owners' draws have really helped me get over the hump. Oh, and pay half of my consumer credit card debt. Great. Okay, so you drew money out of the company. Great. And that's what you should do. One more credit card to go. It would be paid off before I know it. Edit. Just paid off the 3rd one in full. Fabulous. Good job. Good job. And that's exactly what you should do. But you also shouldn't have a business partner. And hopefully the business doesn't have any debt at all. And the problem with the business partner is even if it doesn't have debt, the business partner can decide to go take out a business loan anytime he wants to. And then, you're involved in all that as well. So that would be a NAR. We're not doing partnerships. Interesting. Top 7865 life insurance. So I've been debating this for a bit now and wanted to ask some people who could share opinions. I certainly can do that. I'm in the process of getting my license to sell life insurance. Not good, because I think the most money you can make is if you sell whole life insurance, and that crap is evil. And I have a company and job lined up remotely. They told me they would pay for me to move to Florida to work at their office and relocate. I'm 19 and in college, and also 19 and in college, this could be a bunch of bull crap as well. This could be some kind of scam, or where they actually do have a job for you, but they can't like guarantee any salary or anything like that, or it might be full commission. And this 19-year-old might have just fallen for some garbage here. And in college, and I don't have a job, so I really don't have anything to lose. Well, you'd have to switch colleges then if you move to Florida. If you're still going to continue with college. You think I should commit to it with the potential of so much growth and little to lose? Or keep with college and do insurance fully remote. Yeah, I wouldn't move to Florida. I wouldn't do that. What's wrong with living where you are now? I would have to know like a lot more of good reasons to move rather than stay where you are now and do it remotely. And again, could be a scam. You got to be careful. Got to be careful on the online. This is not a scam for sure. Drowse 89, baby step 3 query, and the answer is no, you don't do anything you're thinking about doing instead of step 3. Let me see if I'm right on this. No ellipses here. We are very nearly at the end of baby step 2, so I've started to try, and I think I might have answered this one already. Or just too many people doing try and. Just try to. Try to. There is no try and. You don't try and do anything. You try to do it. And figure out baby step 3. So to try to figure out baby step 3 and how long it will take to complete. The good news is you can project it all you want. Generally, things take a shorter time because the more you see it working, the more intense you'll be and you'll beat your estimates. Using the snowballed savings from baby step 2, I'm looking at reaching 17 bloody English quid, British quid. Talking about the end of September, October. Question is, do you stop paying into that emergency pot completely once it's reached the 6 month? Yes. Of expenses. Target. Guessing the extra money I'll be putting in at baby step 3 is then redistributed, dumb, to increase, that was my fault, investing to 15% of income. Well, you see, you shouldn't be doing anything to investing now. People are nutty. They don't like to stop that investing. Income into the mutual funds. Do I need to keep topping up the emergency fund if monthly expenses start to rise due to the inflation, the economy, or whatever? It's whatever your expenses are. Theoretically, they wouldn't get that much higher. And also what you should do, instead of just saying, oh, it's the economy, and throw your hands up and say, oh, I guess my expenses per month rose. How about you change your expenses and don't buy the whatever is more expensive? Stop buying more expensive food. Find cheaper food to buy. And do that with anything in your expenses. So, but that's a no. You stop at 6 months. You do not have extra than 6 months. But like this person is saying is, well, what if the expenses are higher? Also, in the 6 months of expenses, in your monthly expenses, that doesn't include the kind of stuff that you would not be doing if you have an emergency. For example, the amount that you're investing, that 15% of gross income, that is not part of your expenses because you would not be investing at that time. You would be stopping the investing in case of emergency. So that is not in there to get taken care of while you have an emergency. What else? So, yeah, so I mean, it shouldn't have to, like, if it raises it $50 more, I wouldn't think that you would need to change it because of that. Before I did that to up the emergency fund, I would find a way to not spend that extra $50 by cutting something else out. But that's just me. Cool shelves. Mortgage, 25% of income. Hi all. Hi guys. I just watched a short clip from a Ramsey episode. Jade recommended the mortgage payment be 25% of your income. That's standard Ramsey advice. And ran the numbers in this way for a caller. However, I always thought the goal was 25% of your take-home pay. It is. Which is great. It was 25% of income. I could maybe actually afford to buy a home in the area I want. Smileys. Nope. Sorry. No, if she said gross, she was incorrect there. Or if she just used the gross number, I just used the gross number a little bit earlier, and it was like $600 difference between like the gross and what that 25% was of his gross, and what would be the amount for, I assume 600 would be enough for the taxes on that, and so, and or anything else that comes out of the paycheck for the take-home pay. And so I assume that, so maybe she was doing that. I don't know. I don't remember that happening on there. But and especially not if she said, if she specifically said you use gross to figure that out, it has to be of your gross income, and that would be a no on mortgage. So that's a no. Sorry, Shelbs. Routine resident 732, silly purchase thoughts. That's a no again. Baby step 2. See, that answers your question there. So baby step 1, 2, and 3, silly purchase, that's a no automatically. Baby step 4, 5, and 6 is not even definitely. It's maybe. Just depends. Now in step 7, you get more leeway. You can do all the silly stuff you want to do unless that silliness puts you in a lower baby step, and that you would not do. I'm in baby step 2 and have paid off 60% of my debt since January. That part's good. People never are satisfied with that, having that be enough for them. They want to do silly purchases instead. Or they want to get a new triathlon bike. Dumb. And I'm on track to finish debt between now and June, September. At the latest, depending on bonuses. I want a stupid bag that costs $1,500. That's a no. That's a Richie thing. That's not, I wouldn't even say that's a 4, 5, and 6. I'm not buying a $1,500 bag while I own a house, or while I still have to pay mortgage off. So that's a no on that. Anyway, I mean, you know, on step 4, if you want to budget for it, you can do that. I still wouldn't recommend it. That's a lot of money for a stupid bag, and you know it's stupid. You know it's silly. So make yourself not want it. Don't be stupid and silly then. Do I just wait until I'm done with baby step 2 or treat myself to this stupid thing? No, you don't wait until you're done with baby step 3 either. That's a no. I feel guilty, but I have not bought anything other than absolute essentials in the past 6 months. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't get credit for that because that's what you're supposed to do when you're trying to make your finances better, when you're doing the baby steps. So you don't get extra credit for that. Oh, well, you know, and of course, the magic phrase that people say that I think I probably hate more than the, you know, in this economy and days out of touch and all that stuff, the thing I hate more than that is when somebody or a couple get together and they decide we deserve it, and it's something on debt or something done with money instead of paying off debt. So that I hate worse there with the we deserve it. No, you know what you get. You know the benefit of that you get that's better than a $1,500 bag? It's not being in any debt soon. 33 lady, single, approximately $100,000. Homeowner, is that the salary? Talk me out of it. Yeah, don't do it. It's dumb as crap. Ramsey community edited. Thank you for splashing some cold water on me. That's absolutely necessary and not unnecessary and not allowed at this point in time. I'm sticking to the steps, and after baby step 3 is fully completed, I will see if I still want it. Right. Right. But then what you got to think about then at that point is, oh, now I got to do steps 4, 5, and 6. Maybe that 1,500 and I'm 33. That's not ancient like Coach Steve Money is, but it's still getting up there. I mean, you still have 30 years in the market, so, but you might want to put that 1,500 in the freaking investing now that you'll be able to start that. And so you might be 34 by that time. And so you might grow up a little bit. Anime Theo. Roth IRA. In case you didn't know, that is because I believe it was a senator or congressman, I think senator, and his last name was Roth, and he was the one that came up for the idea of that and giving us tax-free growth. How about that? Is that fun? It is. Hi, I currently contribute 15% of my income to my company's Roth 403B. Alrighty, great. I'm considered going to Roth IRA, but I know I would need to pick what I contribute to versus my company's plan of doing all the work for me. Well, if everything in there is making more than 10%, 10 to 12%, like the S&P 500, or it's making more than the NASDAQ is doing, you can do those same funds. Because you can see what the name of those funds are. And if you're not making 10% in there, they probably have you in on some dumb, easy, just cookie cutter, target date mutual funds. And so that's not what you should be in. That's not aggressive enough. Leaving money on the table. A lot of money on the table. I'm not really investment savvy and don't want to really do that. Is there an institution you recommend that basically does the work of investing it for you? Yeah, you can contact a Ramsey SmartVestor Pro, but any of the brokerages are going to have investment professionals that you can work with, and they will do it for you. But the problem is, Dave also says don't invest on anything you don't understand, so you need to make yourself understand it. The internet is full of all the information, so just start Googling things. And of course, you go to the Ramsey Highlights channel and you type in investing on there, and you can see everything, like every clip Dave's ever had about investing, and watch all of them, and it will explain a lot of it to you. And there's, there might be other things involved with it, but the two most important things basically in picking a managed mutual fund is that you want it to be one that has at least a 10-year track record, and also one that consistently beats the index, which they are out there. People like to try to pretend they're not out there, but it's just too much work for them. They're too lazy. Having an index fund in retirement, that's better than nothing for sure, but you're leaving a lot of money on the table by not putting forth a little more effort. Maximum Tie 4394 emergency fund. I know it's a tiny accomplishment, but it's huge. It's going to be huge. We got an emergency fund now. We used to have nothing in savings, and we just reached $1,000. Took us 2 months, but we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Lois Ema, we did it. So excited and proud. Come on, baby step 2. That's fabulous. No, if you've been dumb with money your entire life, as I was, before I started doing these steps, then it's huge. It's absolutely huge, because it's the first step into a larger world there. It's your first step towards being 100% intentional with your money, rather than just saying, oh, well, I'll buy that, and I'll buy that, and I'll buy that. And then, oh, well, I don't have money for that. Oh, because I spent on that. Okay. And then not learning from, oh, because I spent on that I didn't need. Now I don't have money for what I do need. And so you're learning, little one. Good. Baby step 1. If you just reach $1,000, though, you're on baby step 2. Change that flare to baby step 2. Maybe they were putting it because that's the question is regarding, or the comment is regarding baby step 1. Maybe they did it for that reason. London Travels 2023. I followed Dave Ramsey, but still did a 30-year loan with only 20% down. I know that Dave is passionate about not having debt. That's true. but I wanted to have the flexibility of a lower payment. You get to do whatever you want to with your life and your money, but your reasons are dumb. So I don't need to read that. You don't have to run what you decide to do that's not Dave Ramsey. You don't have to run that by Reddit or the internet. You can just do this dumb crap that's not Dave's advice. You can do that. I fully support you being able to do it, but I don't need to know about it at all. I don't need to know about it. And if you ask me about it, I would say that's a nar for me. The idea is you don't have flexibility on there. That's the same crap about people wanting more than $1,000 as your starter emergency fund. Oh, well, it's more comfortable. I feel a little bit more safely, blah, 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 blah. Dumb. That's dumb, London Traveler 2023. Also, no traveling either. In early baby steps, which shouldn't have done that if you were in early baby steps either. But I guess if you're on 3B and you save the 20 down payment, I mean, that's better than not doing it, but you're not following the Ramsey advice. So good luck. XX Voices, XX. What jobs actually allow middle class living? How does one make more than $15 an hour? You keep looking for a better job. You stay at your job for a while to get raises. Making more than 15 an hour. So you're already making more. Yay, good job. You're doing it. So what's the question? By one an hour by $1 an hour. Okay, so you're making 16. So your question's stupid because you ask about how does one make more than 15 and you already found out how. Clearly there is not a way to complete the baby steps on this income. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. You just have to keep your expenses down to lower than that, especially if you have debt on them. So the best thing to do with a low income, you can still make the baby steps happen, but not having any debt and being able to skip step two rather, that makes it a lot easier. Now on $15 an hour, buying a house by yourself, that probably isn't going to happen either, though. Ideally, I could get something paying just under 30 an hour, but I'll settle for 25. All this dumb stuff. People are so dumb when they get in their little head. Ideally, I could get something under $30 an hour. So we went from more than 15, and now we doubling it. Shout out Troy's Story. Settle for 25 an hour or even $20 an hour. Dumb. I mean, how old is this person? I feel like for me, this person is really young just because I'm a college graduate, not that young. Then we made a career in call center bill collecting. This is a dead-end job. There is not a feasible way to pay off my $80K plus of debt with this income. I got a great idea. Don't get a degree in something and then do call center bill collecting. That's dumb as crap. Maybe didn't even graduate. I don't know. But this is why we don't do debt for college. Because guess what? You might even graduate, but still you find that the call center bill collecting job pays more than your field. And that was dumb as crap for you to get a degree in that. Let's see, with this income, even if I get a part-time job working another 15 hours a week at $12 an hour isn't a major impact. Okay, so assuming you know that that's the only available thing is $12 an hour, again, that points to the, I don't know, I guess it just seems like a younger person's way of thinking, where they put a lot of stuff in here that probably isn't the exact situation, and making up a lot of different numbers for no reason, and could just state it without putting in these numbers. I understand you're trying to give examples, I guess, but when you say ideally I can get something for just under 30 an hour, but I'll settle for 25 or even 20, why even bring up the numbers at all if you're going to change them that much? But regardless, yeah, work more if you have to. And so you can pay off that $80,000. Yeah. Yeah. So guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Oh, you ain't going to believe this. You are not going to believe this. You have $80,000 of debt right now. Just in case she's looking at this, watching this. You have $80,000 of debt right now. You're not living middle class living. You're living lower class living. You are cutting expenses to the bone to pay off your dumbass college debt that you aren't even, it's not a return on investment because you are making $16 an hour in a call center. I'm sure your degree wasn't call center. Why aren't you doing things in your degree? Why did you take that degree? So yes, all of that is your fault. So you're not living middle class. Now, once you get rid of that debt by living low class, then you won't have debt payments anymore, and then maybe you can do middle class living on not that much of a salary. That's the key to it. You see, that's the key. You can make less money if you don't owe any debt. People are nutty. Time is, oh my goodness gracious me, 6:40. Alrighty, want to buy a home. We'll do this later. That's what happens. Off all weekend, and then just it goes by. It just goes by so quick. Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you can schedule a free, yes, free. I said free, man. Financial coaching assessment with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. Should have remembered that. It's right there on the ticker. What was the next thing? Email. You can email me, coachstevemoney@gmail.com, for anything financial, anything else on your mind, anything on my YouTube channel. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively to CashApp at $CoachSteveMoney on the old Cash App, or a Walmart gift card to that same email address, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams: The Ramsey Show Aftershow show, Monday through Friday, 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time until further notice. And also, starting this Thursday on April the 3rd, it's coming up the ticker right now. Yeah, April 3rd at 7 p.m. So a little short break after I do the Ramsey Show Aftershow show on Thursday. And then I'm going to start at 7 p.m. and probably play till midnight, at least 5 hours. The Last of Us Part 2 remastered playthrough. And that is coming out on PC on Thursday. And we'll be talking about the games and the show as well. And that show, I believe, starts on season 2. The Last of Us show starts on the 13th, I believe, is when that is. Rated M game, be warned on that, and be warned that I have played it before, so it's not like a blind playthrough. So I'm assuming I'll be talking about, if you don't want to be spoiled by the game because of the things that will be the same, and most of it generally is the same as the game, or at least it was in part 1. But too many ums. The guy in the chat today said that one of the callers should limit himself to 10 ums a day. I can give you 10 ums in a minute, probably, normally. Oh, so what was I saying? Something about... Oh, yeah. So don't watch it if you want to watch the show without any idea of what's going to happen. But they do change some things. Alrighty, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. As always, make smart financial decisions every day.